All right, welcome to Coffee with Markus. This is episode 95, and today I'll show you what's happening in the markets after the presidential debate last night so that you know what's going on. And I'm showing you how I'm trading this live on my accounts. And then we're going to do a deep dive to answer your questions and go into everything into more detail. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. This show is about real money and real trades. Now, I'll show you the trading strategies that I personally trade. I'll show you the tools that I use to trade my own accounts, and we will talk about the right mindset of a trader. Now, talking about mindset, I'm going to show you how to create SRC profits. And SRC stands for systematic, repeatable, and consistent because that is the key to long-term success in the market. So, if you're sick of all the hype and empty promises, and you want to learn trading strategies that actually work, then click on like right now and let's get started. Okay, awesome. So good to see everybody here. So, first segment, what is happening in the market? Well, until a few minutes ago, it was looking good. The Dow was up, I think, 600, 700 points. But as you can see, right now we have a sharp reversal. So what's happening? I mean, last night we had the presidential debate, and you know what we had all this week is nervousness going into the election and the rebalancing of hedge funds at the end of the quarter. So last night, the presidential debate. And this is where actually to see the full story, we need to look at the futures markets. And here's what I want to do. I want to show you a 5-minute chart of the futures market since, let me make this a little bit bigger, since yesterday, since the markets closed. So this is where the markets closed yesterday, and this is the overnight session here. Now, as you can see, right at or after the presidential debates, markets went down big time. Why? Because of uncertainty. Now, I didn't watch the presidential debate. I already kind of suspected that this would be kind of a shit show, as they call it right now. Not my words, so YouTube, don't censor me. I'm just quoting what the news media are saying today. Anyhow, so it seemed that yesterday during the presidential debate, there was no clear winner. Again, I didn't watch it. That's what the markets think, right? And uncertainty never helped the market. Why do markets go down? Because of uncertainty. But then this morning, as you can see, this is where we opened here this morning. And we opened this morning and we moved higher right away. So let's now go back to the Dow Jones so that you see what happened here today. So I'm still at a 5-minute chart, and here is what happened today on a 5-minute chart. So we opened, went higher, 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 higher. Why that? Well, there were good news coming out. 2 good news this morning. First of all, pending home sales are up 9% from last month, and they're up 24% compared to last August. Now, think about it. I mean, yes, our economy is not doing well, but you see, people don't seem to be concerned. Would you really buy a new house if you were concerned that you're losing your job next week? So it seems that consumer confidence is high. So pending home sales, good. And this is what traders say. Okay, if 9% more than last month and 24% more than last year are buying homes, apparently we're doing quite well, right? And so the second positive news that came out today is that Pelosi and Mnuchin, I hope that I pronounce it correctly, were hopeful about a stimulus deal. They said they're going to meet today, and they were really close to doing a stimulus deal. So what happened? The markets were excited, and until just right now, basically an hour ago, markets are sliding down. And if you take a look at the Dow here of what happened, so the Dow actually moved down almost, it lost almost 450 points in a matter of minutes. Why? Well, it's because Mnuchin and Pelosi said, well, we didn't reach a deal today, but we're gonna continue to talk. Anyhow, so markets are disappointing, and this is why we are right now pretty much at where we opened, a little bit higher right now. So the Dow is up 0.7%, the S&P is up 0.4%, the Nasdaq is up 0.4%. So let's take a look at the chart, and let's see where we close here. Going into the close here over the next few minutes. So the S&P, still up, but as you can see, really rallied today and now is coming back. So let's see what happens here. So again, it seems that traders are brushing off the presidential debate from last night. and they're focusing on what the economy does here. And again, pending home sales up, Pelosi Mnuchin hopefully signing another stimulus deal, and we are talking about anywhere between what 2 trillion, I believe, is that the numbers that's on the table. Not quite sure, haven't followed it that closely, but this is what we are seeing at all. But let's zoom out here a little bit and let's take a look at what has been happening here over the past month. Let me share my screen again. There we go. So the Nasdaq is still down 6% for the month. So today is the last trading day in the month. Tomorrow, October starts, and we are down 6% in the Nasdaq. We are also down 4.5% in the S&P, and also the Dow is down 2.95, so almost 3%. So it seems that we are ending the month negative, and this would be the first negative month since March. Now, it's not too unusual because September is usually the worst month of the year. So it's not unusual. October usually is a much better month. And as you know, what I did a video on this, what usually happens going into the presidential election. So the days up to the election, yes, there's some nervousness, and this is what we are seeing here in the markets. But the markets are also usually drifting higher. So in a moment, I will talk about how I am trading this, and I just want to quickly here reiterate what Todd says, because I just saw the comment. Todd, and yes, everybody here, political free zone. I mean, I'm commenting of what the markets are doing. I mean, whatever your political views are, feel free to share these on Facebook or wherever. Here, it's about trading. It's about real trades. It's how we trade these markets with these nervousness. So whatever you think about the debate last night, whoever your front runner is, all good for you. Let's keep it politically free here, and let's focus on making money, shall we? Because ultimately, this is what we are all about here. Okay, so Todd, thanks for the comment, appreciate it, and thank you all. I mean, this is a great community here. So if you're new to this, you'll see comments flying in here, and everybody is usually very encouraging and uplifting. So let's not take any debates or political opinions here, tear us apart. Let's talk about the markets, because I want to show you exactly what I'm doing here. Okay, so let's bring up our handy dandy notepad. Now, again, if this is your first time here, you know that right now I am trading two strategies. And the two trading strategies that I'm trading is number one, the PowerX strategy, and number two, I am trading a strategy that is called the wheel. Now, if this is your first time here, let me actually, I just see that I'm cut off here a little bit. There we go. Okay, there we go. So if this is your first time here and you would like to know more about these strategies, I'll link to it in the description, because I did videos on these strategies here. But first of all, let's talk about the PowerX strategy and what I'm seeing here. Now, the PowerX strategy is a trend following strategy. And as a trend following strategy, we need trends in the market. Now, let's take a look at the markets again and let's see what's happening. So as you can see, recently, the markets have been rather choppy. Look at this. So over the past week or two, so first we had a nice uptrend right here, as you can see. Then we had kind of a downtrend, and the markets have been rather choppy. So this is why with the PowerX strategy, I'm only taking A+ trades. And I want to show you exactly what I'm looking at and how I'm finding the A+ trades. And I'll show you the trades that I have in my account. And then we will also talk about the wheel strategy and what I'm trading there. But I thought let's get started with the PowerX strategy, because I know that many of you already got the book, the PowerX strategy, right? If you don't have it yet, if you're new to the channel, it's a book that I've written about the strategy. You can buy it on Amazon for 20 bucks. I'll be happy to send it to you for $4.95. That's basically covering shipping and handling. There's a link in the description, and I'll link to a playlist where I explain the wheel trading strategy here as well. So let me actually show you of what I did here with the PowerX strategy. Now, as you know, I'm using a tool, the PowerX Optimizer, and if you have the tool, you know that over the past, let me just make this a little bit bigger, then it's easier to see. There we go. That over the past few days, we had some exciting new releases, and this is why you see the banner here on top. PowerX Optimizer has been upgraded to the latest version 1.72. Check the latest release notes. Hope that you love the releases. I think they're a great improvement, and we have more cool releases coming up next week. Anyhow, so here's how I find the best stocks to trade. Every day I'm running the scanner. Now, you all have access to my default parameters. I want to see at least a 60% return on investment. I want to see a closing price between $5 and $250, profit factor of 3, reward to risk ratio of 2. And we have talked about this in detail. And again, if you would like to know more about this, just get the book. It explains everything in detail. So this morning, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 potential candidates. And here is what I do when I'm looking at these 7 candidates. I will not trade all 7 of them. Again, what did I just say? I'm only looking for the A+ trades. So how do I find them? Well, I have 3 criteria that I'm looking for. And the first criteria is I don't want to see any gaps on the chart, because a stock that is gapping all around might give me some surprises, and I don't want to do this. So number 2, I want to see nice trends. And when I talk about nice trends, both to the upside and the downside. Okay, it doesn't really matter because I'm going long and short. I don't care. And number 3, I want to see a nice P&L chart, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by this. So let's go back and let's take a look at this. So the first stock that came up here is APPS. APPS came up with the long signal. And so as you can see, this is where the profit and loss graph is really, really important. For most of the year, this stock didn't do anything. So if I had traded the stock between last August until last May, I wouldn't have made any money. You see the P&L graph here, the profit and loss graph is showing you what would happen to your P&L, to your account, if you had traded this stock according to the PowerX strategy. And this is where we have the trading report, and the trading report clearly shows that for most of the year that we are looking back of what the stock did, it didn't do anything. And this here visual representation where you see, yeah, it didn't really do a lot of things. And this, rather flat here. Recently, some nice trends, but this is where I said, no, APPS is not for me. And I just right mouse click and remove it from the scanner. Now, EAT, on the other hand, Brinker International, as you can see, really nice trends to the upside, to the downside. Do you see any gaps here? Pretty much no, right? I mean, there's no gaps here. And we see that, yes, EAT, I mean, I would think that they are somewhere in the hospitality business, maybe restaurants or something like this. They got hit hard during COVID, bounced back, but now it is giving us a short signal. So this is where I thought, well, you know what? This actually looks pretty good. So I kept this in. LL, Lumber Liquidator. I am still in this trade because I'm trading a spread on this one. And this is why I did not exit on this black bar. So when I'm trading option spreads, and I'll show you exactly in a moment on the account what it does here, this is where I'm waiting for 2 black bars to close the trade. Okay, so I'm already in there. Then we had LPX. LPX was okay. So what I didn't like about LPX, if we zoom in a little bit here, you see that there's quite a few gaps. You see there's a gap here, there's a gap here, there's a gap here, there's a gap here. There were gap years. You see, just recently we had a gap. So for me, LPX was a little bit too gappy. Again, going back to the 3 main criteria here, where I want to see no gaps, nice trends to the upside and downside, and a nice P&L chart. This is where I realized this here, LPX, for me personally, had too many gaps. So right mouse click, let's kick it out here. Remove from scanner. SHLLWT. Now, this is a crazy stock. Look at this. For most of the year, it was just trading at around, 20 cents or something like this. And then it suddenly moved up. With a wild swing, it went from $1.40 to $25. Went from $25 all the way back to, $11 here, $11.30. And then in a matter of days, doubled again. So, I mean, this obviously is something crazy. I do not want to trade this. So here, let's get rid of this, remove from scanner. Now, you see how quickly I can go through this, and usually it takes me less than 5 minutes to do this. Now, very, very, very similar to the first stock that we saw here. For most of the time, it was rather flat. Then recently, we saw some really nice trends. But you see, if I only see trends for the past 6 months and not for the whole year, again, right now, we're only taking A plus trades. So this would be an A minus trade or maybe an A trade. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to highlight this in yellow. Okay. That's what I want to do here. And so this where for me, this is an A trade, maybe an A minus trade, but not an A plus trade. Basically because it just recently started behaving nicely, going to the upside and the downside. And you see how valuable this profit and loss graph is, because very quickly it gives me a visual cue of whether this is a stock that I want to trade or not. So let's kick this out here. Remove from scanner. So the last one, WLL here. Let's take a look at this really quickly while I'm taking a sip of coffee. Now, if you were ever looking for a picture perfect crazy trade, here you go. So Widening Petroleum Corporation started a year ago at around $18, went all the way down to $1, from $18 to $1, and just recently jumped from $1 to what, $25, $27, already coming back. So obviously this is not a stock that I want to trade. And now you already see how important it is. A tool is absolutely important because it can help you with your strategy, but you still need your brain to decide which of these stocks make sense, because here we're talking about purely mechanically the stocks that are meeting my criteria. And you know this, we have talked about it. The 3 pillars of trading are having a great trading strategy, hint, hint, having a great tool, look at this, PowerX Optimizer, and number 3, having the right mindset. But again, a tool is just one out of the 3 pillars here. You still do need your mind. I mean, you cannot completely automate your trading. Anyhow, so remove this from scanner. So this leaves us with EAT and LL. As said, in LL, I'm still in there. So let's take a look at these 2 trades. And EAT was actually a trade that I just executed a little bit ago here. So here we go. So I'm still in car gurus. So right now I'm still slightly up on this one because I'm betting on a falling market here. Let me just show you. I can actually show it to you on, there we go, on the PowerX Optimizer. So we go for car G. Dun, 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 dun. It doesn't like it when I'm streaming, because when I'm streaming, I'm using a lot of bandwidth of my computer here. And since this is a web-based software, so it means that you don't have to download anything. It obviously needs an internet connection here. So anyhow, looking at car G, if we zoom in here a little bit, I went short right here. As you can see, I went short at 21.94. So betting on a falling market right now. And let's see where car G is right now. So car G right now is at 21.59. Okay, so slightly up here a little bit, right? I mean, 21.94, so up only a few cents. And this is what you see when we're going to the account, up $21. Not a whole lot. Again, here I'm trading a small $20,000 account that I'm trading with you live here on YouTube, so that you know what's going on. Now, EAT, I traded an option here on EAT. So I traded the 42 put, and here's why I traded the option, right? I mean, I just looked at PowerX Optimizer, I looked at EAT, and once it went below my magic line in the sand, which was 43.01, I looked at the options. There were 2 options that I could consider, either the 48 strike or the 42 strike. So here I chose the 42 strike. That was the one that was appealing to me. Now, the suggested entry price, $4.27. I believe I got in at $4.30. So this is what we see right here. So that's EAT. Now, LL, Lumber Liquidators. Again, there's a trade that I opened a while ago. And you see here, actually, you see this day, days open means that car G, I have this trade open now for 5 days. LL, I have this open for 14 days, so it has been a while already, and it's not going anywhere. We can take a look at LL. Again, I'm looking here to bet on a falling market because PowerX Optimizer told me it is more likely for LL to go down. Seems that today we are getting a black bar. So this means that tomorrow I would get out of the trades because here are the three rules of how I exit a trade, either at a profit target, and PowerX Optimizer shows me the profit target. Let's just go here to LL. I keep going back to this one. This was pretty interesting. I just wanted to see what usually, it's an article that I read. How does the stock market react to the first US presidential debate traditionally? And this is where I brought this up here. Traditionally, it's usually going up the day after a presidential debate. Anyhow, if you would like to know more about this, I'm going to post this link here. Let me just see if I can quickly do this. I'll post this in the description. There we go. I'm just right now giving it to my team that we can post it into the description if you want to see it. But I wanted to go to PowerX Optimizer. So looking at LL, we have our profit target here. We have our stop loss. So I'm exiting either when I reach my profit target or when I reach my stop loss, or I exit when I see a black bar. These are the three ways how I'm exiting here. So again, LL, we had one black bar. So tonight, after the markets are closed, I'll see where we stand, and I'll see if I need to close this trade here or not, or if I can keep it open for a little bit. Okay, and then of course, EAT, this is the trade that I entered today. Thus far, I'm up $90. So the total open P&L that I have here is around $100. I mean, really not too exciting right now, but it's because the markets are just going sideways. And as the markets are just chip-chopping along, this is why it's so important that we are taking the only A plus trades here. Anyhow, is this making sense? Is this helpful? Okay, so let me do the following, because there were a few comments here regarding PowerX Optimizer and a few questions. So let's do this before we talk about the wheel strategy. Again, appreciate you being here live. If you're not here live, feel free to leave a comment underneath the video. I will actually read all the comments. I actually do, and respond to most of them. All right, so good to see everybody here. Don said nothing good on the PowerX Optimizer that I could see today. Well, Don, I hope that this helped you. I saw EAT. So for me, EAT looked good. If it didn't look good for you, if right now you say you don't want to trade any shorts, that is good. Okay. All right, good. So I'm going through all these political comments that you did earlier today. That's fine. Don't have to worry about this one here. Anyhow, so Hayes is actually asking a great question. I just lost it. Hold on, I'll get back to you here in a moment. Don says, I love seeing the buying power in the data window. Really helpful. Yes, this is a release that we did last night. So if now you are using the PowerX Optimizer to find the best trades, it actually shows you how much buying power is needed if you want to trade the stock. So this here is based on a $10,000 account, I believe. Let me double check my settings here. So here, yes, based on a $10,000 account. So I recommend that you have up to 5 positions in your account. And this where you see on a $10,000 account, this would use $1,500 in buying power. And therefore, I think this would have been a good stock. And yeah, I agree, Don. It was a request from you, the PowerX Optimizer user, so we implement it here. Don says, great release on the PowerX Optimizer. Glad that you liked it. Okay. So, Andreas, Grüße aus Frankfurt. Grüße zurück nach Frankfurt, my fellow Germans. Okay. Anyhow. So, Rafu says, still waiting for my book. I ordered some 3 weeks ago. Here's the challenge. We are actually giving it to our fulfillment house the day you order it. But if you're international right now, it seems that the postal service or FedEx or UPS are kind of crazy. So internationally, it is a little bit of a problem. If you're within the US, you get it usually within a few days here. Good. So Hayes said, I picked SHL. Yeah, obviously I need more stock pick guidance. I hope, Hayes, that you found this helpful here as I went through the stocks. That gives you a little bit more practice here. Hayes also asking, how do we get the profit and loss graph on the bottom? Super easy here. So in the settings, you will see that in the settings, it actually, no, I thought it was optional. Yeah, it is under indicators, sorry. We have it under technical indicators. You see profit and loss chart. You need to select this, and then you have the profit and loss chart there. So super easy. If you uncheck it, it's gone, as you can see. And if you check it, so you go to technical indicators, click on profit and loss chart, and right there it is. Okay, good, good, good. Hayes, hope that helps. Mike says SHLL warns on a SPAC that is closing on a merger. That's why it's crazy. You see, I don't even want to know what these guys are doing. I don't even want to know what LL is doing. I don't want to know what car gurus are doing. I don't want to know what EAT is doing, because then I have an opinion. And if there's one thing that I've learned over the years, I should not trade what I think, right? That's why I have this mug here that says trade what you see, not what you think. And you see, I'm having this tilted towards me all day, that I'm reminded not to trust my brain, right? Trust my eyes. Trade what you see, not what you think here. Rosemary said it's very helpful. Thank you. Donna, why ATM on EAT and not ITM? I believe it had something to do, if I remember it correctly. When I got the signal, I set an alert that I got alerted to get into the trade. And I think the ITM was running away, and the ATM looked good for me as well. Okay, so Joseph, is it better to wait for a second black bar to exit? Only when you're trading spreads. So that's something that we introduced in a spread trading class that is part of your PowerX Optimizer. So if you invest in the PowerX Optimizer, of course, there's tons of trading videos, and there's a class in which we explain how to trade spreads. When you're doing this, Mark and I personally, we wait until we have 2 black bars. If you're just trading regular options, or if you're just trading stocks, then we recommend 1 black bar. Joseph, great question here. Okay. Alex says, thanks for going to the process. Really helpful. Okay, glad that it helps. Glad that it helps. Okay, Monica says, EAT has earnings on November 4th. Okay, something to keep in mind. I mean, we are more than like a month away from earnings, so we are good here. We shouldn't have a problem with this at all. Jeff's asking, what is your spread on LL? I'll be happy to show this to you right now. So it's the 21 put versus the 22 put. So let me just show you exactly what this looks like if I'm analyzing this trade. So by entering a spread here, there we go, analysis. So here's the deal. Right now, my loss is limited to $20. I cannot lose more than $20 on this trade. But you see, my gain here is still that I could make $80, and it's because I turned half of it into a spread. So I had another half, but I closed this at the black bar here. But it's pretty decent here. So if you're going up to $80, that's pretty much as I can make here on LL. As you can see right now, I'm up $20. So if I'm going up to 80, I'll close this out with a small profit. Again, going into the spread here was a hedge, because I wanted to avoid, after LL, let me just show you, after it had a nice move in my direction, right? This is when I locked in the profits that I saw thus far. And again, wasn't a whole lot, but also this is a rather small account that I'm trading here. Okay, good, good, good. So let's go back here. KW is asking 2 black bars for spreads only. Yes, because I did extensive testing on this. As you know, I traded an account with you here on YouTube Live, where I tested it over 40 trades, because I wanted to see, does it make sense to wait for 2 black bars? And no, it's really better if you exit at 1 black bar. Okay, so going back here, since we do have a few more minutes, now I want to talk about the wheel strategy, and I want to show you the trades that I have in here. Again, the wheel strategy, completely different. While the PowerX strategy is a trend following strategy, and this is a strategy to if you're trading for growth, right? So if you want to grow your account, this is perfect. The wheel strategy is a strategy for sideways to slightly up markets, right? So it can be choppy here. So this is why right now the wheel is performing really, really well. And now you also see, why does it make sense to trade two strategies, right? So because when you're trading two strategies, let's actually make this in green. Sure, why not? Now this looks ugly. Okay, hold on. Let's make this in purple. Purple, pink, we got the idea. But this is why it makes sense to trade two strategies, right? Because they are for different market conditions. So this here need trends, whether to the upside or the downside. So the PowerX strategy does not good when it is choppy. The wheel strategy are good in sideways, which would be rather choppy markets here. So let's take a look at the trades that I have here according to the wheel. And we're going in there, going into another account. There we go. Okay, so Apple. I actually was thinking that I could close Apple together with you because Apple, here's the deal. Let me show you. Let me just analyze this. So as you can see right now, the open P&L is $1,586. And if we are analyzing it, my maximum profit on Apple, my maximum profit will be 1,778. So earlier today, as Apple was rallying, as the markets were rallying, before Pelosi and Mnuchin said, yeah, no deal yet, but we'll keep talking, and markets slid. Before this, it was looking really, really good. So right now, as you can see, if we would take, let's take our handy dandy calculator, and with our handy dandy calculator, earlier today, I saw that we were at $1,615 out of a possible 1780. This means 93%. I could have closed the trade today at 93% of the maximum profit. The reason why I didn't do this is because I wanted to do it live together with you. I did not expect the markets to slide into the close here. I really thought that maybe Pelosi and Mnuchin, Nancy and Steve, is it Steve or Steven? Anyhow, would come to an agreement today and that the market stayed at this high level. But I posted it this morning in our Facebook group for the mastermind members where I said, hey, consider taking profits today on Apple because if you're waiting for the last $100 for the next 3 days, why would you do this? Anyhow, Marriott, is this a trade that we entered this morning or yesterday? This morning, yeah. So this morning we entered into Marriott. This is a trade slightly down here right now. Then, of course, we have our TQQQ trade that did really well today. We have TRGP. TRGP today went a little bit further down. So this probably means that soon we can close our call here at 90% of the profits. And then we have Win that is behaving really, really nicely. So that's what we want to see here with Win. We're looking at $153. So overall, this is where we stand here with this account. Realized almost $7,000 thus far, and I've been trading this for a little bit over 2 months. Now, very shortly, probably over the next day or two, we will add this. We will add $1,600 to this. This brings up the gains for this account, which is a slightly larger account. It's a $50,000 account. We'll bring it up to what, $8,500, something like this. So it'll be good. It's fun. So trading this strategy is fun. So most trades are behaving nicely. Our troublemakers are right now TQQQ and TRGP. I'm not too concerned about TQQQ. It's really coming back nicely, so we'll be good here. TRGP, we're keeping an eye on this. So for TRGP, we can close the call shortly at 90% of the profits, which would be good because on TRGP, keep in mind, we already realized, let's go back and see how much TRGP we already made, $650. Okay, so that's realized. And right now we have, what do we have in unrealized? 2,262. 2,262 in unrealized profits or losses, right? You see, this is why it's important that you see No, not every single trade might be a winner. So we'll see. Of course, we will not get out of the trade right now. This would be at the worst case scenario. So what we'll do is we will keep selling calls until we can get out of this trade with a profit. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's same like with Apple, right? I mean, at first everybody said, Apple, we got to sign. It's part of the strategy. And again, if you're new to this and if you're not familiar with this strategy just yet, I'll link to it in the description. So both strategies. I am actually right now writing a book for the wheel strategy. So it might take a little bit. If you want to have the PowerX strategy, just go to our website. You can have it for $4.95. You can put it on your desk, on your nightstand, can bring it to the beach, wherever you like to read it. Anyhow, good question here. So let's actually find a few more questions. And so surprising, for some reason, I don't see your questions here. So let me go to another screen here and just see. Scott says, I recently purchased the Optimizer last Friday, loving it. Should I master the strategy before trying to learn the wheel strategy, especially if I'm not too familiar with option trading? Well, the important thing here, Scott, it's a great question. So should you actually trade two strategies? You don't have to. Just keep in mind that right now, as the markets are choppy, it might make sense to sit on your hands. You see, here's a really interesting observation. New traders are jumping into the markets and they always say, let's trade, let's make money. And I know why. I mean, I was like this in the beginning of my trading career. In the beginning of my trading career, I had this little voice in my head that said, if you don't trade, you don't make any money. And at some point, I realized, no, if I'm not using the right strategy for the right market conditions, that's when I'm losing money, right? So this is why at this point, be careful here. Just take A plus trades if you're only trading one strategy. If you're trading two strategies, you just have more opportunities. Does this make sense, Scott? Great question here. Hope that this helps. Let's see. So Eduardo is asking, can you use PowerX buy signal for selling puts? No, no. I mean, the PowerX Optimizer strategy is for buying calls and puts. That's what I'm doing with it. Now, Eduardo, however you use it, if you want to use it for selling puts, that's fine. But this is not how I designed that tool. This tool, the PowerX Optimizer, is for the PowerX strategy, right? And for the wheel, I have the wheel income calculator. Two different tools. Now, at some point, I'm planning to integrate this into PowerX Optimizer. But right now, you're trying to use this tool for this strategy. And you know what, Eduardo? It might work. It might not work, right? I mean, this is where it really depends. I haven't designed it this way, so this is why I can tell you if it works or not. Okay, so Theron is asking, why not use a trailing stops once you are in the profit with the PowerX Optimizer strategy? You can absolutely do this. You see, for me personally, it gets too busy. Let me just show you. So I have a total of 9 different accounts. If I'm just looking at these two accounts that I'm trading here together with you, and again, many more, but here I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different positions. And in these 8 different positions, look at this. I have different working orders here. Probably I should have some working orders. Anyhow, so this is where if you're managing too many positions and you need to use trailing stops, for me personally, it got too confusing. So, let's see, Rich Theron. If you're trading fewer accounts or you're trading fewer positions, I believe it's absolutely fine. You can use a trailing stop. Just for me personally, it's easier to use a fixed stop loss and fixed profit targets because I can very easily do this. You see, if I, for example, if I wanted to attach them here, I can just have a bracket order. I believe. No, here I can just close this. I would have to see. Right now, I have mainly options on. So if you're trading stocks, you can use a simple bracket order and take care of it this way. Again, nothing right or wrong. I'm sharing how I trade. I'm not saying that you have to trade this way or you will lose money. I'm just showing what works for me, and hopefully, this helps you to make money here. Okay. So Alex says MAR looked good on the wheel today, but $9,000 buying power is very high on a $10,000 account. In case I get assigned, is there a way to take these using less buying power? No, but you see, this is why Marriott. Let me just show you. Let's go back to the account. We are actually striving for having a healthy mix. Here we go, of stocks that require a lot of buying power. Here, for example, Marriott is right now $9,000, $7,000 here. TRGP is $14. I am looking at a variety of stocks, right? I mean, some that are lower priced that you can trade on a smaller account, some of them that are higher priced where you need a higher account. But no, there's no easy way to trade this on a $20,000 account. You would be overextending yourself. So just skip this trade. We might issue another alert tomorrow or maybe on Friday. We'll see, right? Usually we issue alerts 3 times per week. So you know that on Monday you got 3 alerts, and today you got 1 alert. I guess it was 1 alert today, right? So just skip this one if you don't have enough buying power, because otherwise you'll be overextending yourself. Again, we're trying to really balance it so that we have positions in there for smaller accounts and we have positions in there for larger accounts. Okay. So Scott says, is there a way for the optimizer to tell us if the stock is a better trade or the option is a better trade? You know what? Actually, we are considering implementing something like that, where it tells you, where it compares the risk and reward. Right now, it's super easy. You can super easy do it yourself, because what you're looking for here, for example, if you're looking for EAT, I mean, first of all, you see the buying power that is needed, right? Sometimes the buying power might be too high for your account. So here, these are the settings for a $10,000 account, and the buying power would be $2,800 out of a $10,000 account. So maybe there's too much buying power for you, right? The second thing is that you look at the risk-reward ratio, and you can do it with options, and you see here, the risk-reward ratio on the stock is 1 to 3.7. And for the options, it's 1 to 2.5, or 1.1 to 2.1. So you see, it is actually here, it would be better to trade the stock from a risk-reward ratio. But if you don't have enough buying power, it might make sense to trade the option. Scott, does this help? I mean, great question. Super easy. Okay, so Don says, I'm getting similar results with the wheel, $50,000 account, $3,000 profit in 1 month. I'm hooked. Yeah, if you can keep this up, you will make $36,000 on a $50,000 account. And this is like how much? It's 70%? Something like this, right? I mean, it's something insane. And you're doing great, Don. You're doing great. Okay, so Benito says, I've been trading the wheel strategy for the last 9 weeks with 34 to 38% ROI annualized. Really happy. And that's what we are expecting. Again, if you would like to know which strategy is better for you, I did a video on this of what is the better trading strategy. So I compare these two. There's not better one. They're just different. They have different purposes, right? So I just did a very brief comparison here. I have a more detailed comparison. I'll link to the video in the description. You can watch the video as soon as we are done here. Anyhow, okay. So let's actually take 2 more questions here. Let's see. So Roger is asking, are you trading the same strategies also in your other accounts? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. My favorite strategy, my by far favorite strategy, is the PowerX strategy. And if you watch the videos where I compare the PowerX strategy to the wheel, you will see why that is. But as I have larger accounts, with larger accounts, it does make sense to trade the wheel. Which brings me to the question of Andrew. Andrew said, what stocks would you recommend wheeling with a balance of $5,000? None. I mean, $5,000 is not enough for the wheel. Andrew, I'm sorry to be the one to break the news for you. This is why for you it might make sense to trade the PowerX strategy, because this, again, take a look at the video. Here it's perfect. You can start with the 5,000. There we go. Right, with the $5,000 to $10,000 account, that is fine. With the wheel strategy, okay, you should have at least $20,000. So $5,000 is not enough. Use the PowerX strategy. Okay. Anyhow, this is why we want to have both, and this is why I wanted to show you today how I'm personally trading it and what I'm doing. Is this been helpful? Because if it is, do me a favor and click on like on this video. If you enjoyed it, right, just click on like it. If you want to see more videos like this, and this is your first time here, click on the subscribe button and also click the little bell, because this way you get notified whenever I release a new video or when I go live, and you can follow along on how these accounts are doing, the smaller accounts that I trade with you publicly here. And also make sure that to share this video, share it with anybody who might find this helpful. And I will see you in the next video. One more thing. There will not be a coffee with Markus on Friday. So this Friday, not the next one, is next Monday. So this Friday, I have something else that I need to take care of. Anyhow, see you very soon, and you have a great rest of your day. Take care.